So I do play these back with the audio off, which sucks, but YouTube won't let me upload it if I have songs on here. So this one I use Bad Religion, Them and Us, and the reason I chose that is well, I took this vacation in 2016. I was self-employed. I was 2 years deep into being self-employed. I was super disillusioned with the corporate office, in-office world, showing up to work every day. I had been doing that for a lot of years, and I felt as if my life force was draining away. I felt as if there was a dichotomy of like you can chase your passions and what you love in life every day and probably be broke, or you can chase money and a career the conventional way, and the sacrifice is so great it really cuts into like, try being a dope skater when you're sitting in an office chair for 40, 50 hours a week. They're not very compatible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's tough. So this era here was like a time of like rebellion in my life where I just had it with the system. Like I felt like I was 8 years deep in a career of an office job and not getting where I wanted to get to, not getting the type of money I wanted to see, and I was trying to buy a home all this time, and home prices were just like running away, way beyond salaries. This is not going to be a depressing video, I'll tell you that. This is the first happy part in a while here. I talked about how depressed I was during some of the past parts, and I honestly think that's just when you're in your late 20s. I think everyone goes through it. Kind of the biggest depression of your life. In my experience, the people I've known and stuff, it seems to happen in your later 20s. So this is not a depressing part. This is happy. I was in a great mood here. I felt as if I had sacrificed like the most prime years of my life to computer jobs, and that I had nothing to show for it. And so this era here, these couple of years here, starting from 2014, was like rebelling against that. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna go independent. I'm gonna get my own web dev clients. I'm just gonna like do what I love, and I don't even care if it's hard or if I have to sacrifice or if I can barely afford it. I'm just gonna go all in on what I love because I'm not gonna waste my life again. And so I had different van life setups, and I got my own clients for programming, building web apps, and this was 2 years deep into that, and I was able to just go travel, and I didn't even have a lot of money to do it. I was making like one month I made like $12,000 being independent. Other months I'd make like $1,800, $2,000. So I had to be really smart with my money to pull this off, to be able to travel like this. And I just lived in my car throughout this whole video. It was my second trip like that. I had done it in 2014 too. I was always trying to get back to this van lifestyle. So in 2016 here, I made it happen again. And this is all just on the West Coast. I only went as far as Vegas, like LA. Well, I went Oregon coast, Northern California, Santa Cruz, Bay Area, Southern California, then out to like Las Vegas to stay with some family. And this was my entire life here represented in this part. This is my 2016, documented better than anything else I could have documented. I just all day I would like post up at a coffee shop in a new town every day. I'd be in Oakland or Santa Cruz or LA, Echo Park, whatever, and I'd go to a coffee shop. I'd sit down first thing in the morning, do web app development work till I couldn't stand it anymore. So probably like 9 a.m. to like 2 p.m. Maybe if there was something urgent going on, maybe I'd work till like 4 p.m. Then I would like make a concerted effort to enjoy my life. I would get off work and I would be like, okay, it's time to enjoy life. And so that's what I would do. I'd hit the gym. I'd check out every new skate park. Just like go on Google Maps, and like as I drove, like there's the next skate park, there's the next skate park, boom, 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 travel. Just hit every skate park. Right, so I chose this song because I went to high school in Central California in a town called Visalia. If you were following from the beginning, the first couple parts you saw footage from there. And this Bad Religion album, they were like solidly skate punk back then. Now they're like now, yeah. If I could take you back to like '96, it was like the Blink 182 type of thing was just barely coming into the scene, and the OG skate punk was like Pennywise, Bad Religion, No Effects, like these type of bands. And I listened to that shit because if you were in California in the 90s and you were skating, there was no way that you got away from that type of music. It was just like, that was just the soundtrack of skate culture, skate punk culture. You're so concerned when you're younger with trying to appear cool. That's like what so much of skate parts is. You're paranoid about how your outfit looks, how the song looks on the video, if your tricks are good enough, like being accepted by the scene. So if we touch on the last part I made, it was Vibe from 2013. And if you saw that review, I came at that from a direction of like, I put my heart and soul into that. I was like, this is my last chance in my prime at this young age, while you can still do it, while your body can still do this. Like, I owe it to myself. I've been skating so long for so hard. I owe it to myself to try my absolute hardest and to just make my absolute best video part possible. And because that's where my mind was at, and because that's where I was coming from, I later figured out that wasn't my best part possible, and it didn't have the right feelings that I was after in that part because I was trying so hard. It's like, if you hold something so tight, whatever it is, something you care about in life, if you grip it so tight, you'll I don't know how to say it, you'll fuck it up. You'll fuck it up by holding on to something so tight. You need to like chill out. There has to be an element of just like letting life be and letting life unfold and being the person you are and being the skater you are without overly trying to be anything or anybody. Like, it has to be who you are. It has to be natural. And all of the best skate parts in history, whether you're talking about Tom Penny or Andrew Reynolds, like, they have that aspect. Like, they were trying hard as fuck, but all the best skate parts in history, I believe, are accurate representations of the person was not being anything other than who they really were. They were really true to themselves, and I think that shows through in just the skating and the vibe and the energy. Like, you should have a smile on your face. See right here, I was cracking a smile on my face, bombing that hill. That's the type of energy you need to get in your skate part to have it fully cohesive, and I don't think I always hit that in my earlier parts. Right, so I'm traveling throughout California, and it occurred to me on this trip, I was kind of, like, honestly, I was living a pretty punk rock lifestyle, like camping in my van and then skating every other day, practically every day. I was traveling throughout California, these same places that in high school, like in Visalia, if you take a trip to the coast, you end up going to San Luis Obispo and what's it called? Pismo Beach. And so I was like traveling through those places again, and I wasn't expecting it, but I got all these memories flooded back of being like 15, 16, 17 in high school there in Visalia, and like going to these same places in California, Monterey. That was Monterey right there. And then just this nostalgia wave was coming over me. I hadn't even thought about it in all those years, and I started really thinking about that experience as an adult now, as a 33-year-old man, about when I was like 16 in high school, and then tying it into, because like skateboarding has been such a big part of my growing up. It was never just a thing that I did. It was like my whole everything. It was like my identity, my validation, my exercise, my mental health thing that got my mind right. Like, it was like everything I did for 20 years growing up. Like, skateboarding was kind of the center of it, and I understood life through skateboarding. And so on this trip, I just had these waves of nostalgia, and I was remembering like, who was I at 16, and what was the world like at when I was 16 in like 96. What was the overall culture, what was the experience of if you came up at that time in California as a skate kid, and then how did that impact me today as an adult. And so I chose this song because I first found it in high school, and it was like my favorite song on this Bad Religion album. I've never been crazy about them, but I always liked this song. It was like the best one on the album, and and I rediscovered it on this trip. I was remembering all the music I used to be into, so I was like looking up all the old music and remembering how I used to skate, and then when I found this song, I was like, oh man, I still identify with this. Like, I felt like the song "Them and Us." It's all talking about inequality, divisions in society, and it's always them versus us. It's like, 80-year-old Congress people running the country while youth, teenagers, and 20s and your early 30s, you have like no say in the society. It's like how it feels, just like standard punk rock sentiment. But but I promise I'm going somewhere with this. But the point is, I had this feeling like, you know what? I don't need to try my absolute hardest. I don't need to push when it comes to skating and getting clips. I don't need to try my absolute best trick. I don't need to I don't need to make sure I have my absolute like outfit dialed on camera. I was like, you know what? I am this dude. I am this Gen X dude who came up in the 90s in California in the culture of like Bad Religion and Pennywise and skate punk, and I would have been way too embarrassed in my 20s. I would have been way too self-conscious to use like a punk rock song or like Bad Religion for one of my skate parts. I would have been like, oh, that's old school, that's 90s, that's like not cool anymore. It's got to be more like cutting edge. But at this time, I was really coming into like being a fully grown man. I guess I don't know how else to put it. Like yeah, this is the first part where skateboarding is no longer the center of my life. Even at this time, like now, the center of my life was trying to save to buy a house, trying to advance my independent career, being able to do the things I love, like van life, just hiking these places, and so that's what I was pursuing. And skateboarding, I just felt like it was like I was blessed. I was like, wow, I spent my whole 20s like perfecting this art and getting better at it, and I felt like I owe it to the world and I owe it to myself. Like it would be a betrayal, even though I don't care that much about skateboarding at 33. Like it would be a betrayal if I didn't stop at all these skate parks when I was traveling, and if I didn't try to get these clips, because like it takes a long time to do back 180s over trash cans off of a little bump like that. Like that takes a lot of training to get to a point where you've got it like that, and it just you get this sense of like that it's all going to waste, that you're just throwing it away if you just like okay, well, had fun with that now, but even though my body's capable, I'm just like not gonna do that anymore. Like, so even though I was already kind of over skateboarding in a way by now, and it was only a little side thing in my life, um, I that's where this footage came from, is just this obligation of I owe it to myself to stay active and stay healthy and do the things I enjoy that I didn't spend enough time doing in my 20s. On all those past parts, like skateboarding's a really individualistic activity, like hyper individualistic. Like every single person has their own style, and nobody tells you what tricks you have to do. You got to figure that out for yourself. Nobody tells you what obstacles to hit, and it's just all about cultivating this like cool guy, like skater dude image. And this was the first part where, after that vibe part, 2013 was the last part in the series. I realized, is it really about being the coolest dude and just like so what? Like what if you did perfect the ultimate cool guy image and you did film the ultimate cool guy part the best you could do, every shot was perfect, like in your 20s that really matters, but like I was coming into my 30s and it's like, so the fuck what? Like I am who I am. My whole identity is not skateboarding. And who cares if I'm the coolest dude? I'm not the best skater anymore. There's like younger kids now that are better than me in my hometown, and I just like let all that go. And so I was looking at skateboarding from a more grown-up perspective, and I was just thinking about all the good things it had done for my life. And in this part, it was like you see all these guest parts. There's like tons of guests in this part, and I never did that in any of my other parts. It was always me, 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 me. Because I was motivated by different things. And this time I was like, you know what skateboarding has brought me? All these awesome, interesting people. That guy, all these friends that I've made. that's what skateboarding has brought me. These times, they would have been nothing. Like the 1,000,000,000 sessions I've had going out skating, it would have been nothing without the people there. And it sounds so simplistic and dumb, but like I was so focused on being good and getting good tricks in my teenage years and 20s that I overlooked that stuff. I didn't fully appreciate how special it is to have a group of guys that have your back and to like have a sense of belonging in a scene, and friends that just like you can confide in and hang out with anytime and tell anything to. And all these guys in the video are like that. These are all special people to me that I've spent shitloads of time with and had all kinds of interesting conversations with and grown up together for like years with. That's like everybody who appears in this video is like that for me. And that was a core theme. So the first theme was, I am who I am. I'm this 90s Gen X kid, and just own who I am. I don't need to try to be anything different than I am. This is who I am. This is the tricks I know how to do without overly trying too hard. Let me pause it here. So just be who you are. And then the second takeaway is like that it's bigger than the tricks and the cool guy shit. Like it's about the people and the friends and the experiences you had. And I was trying to capture that while I still could. I really felt like I didn't have very much more years of this at 33 left in me. And so at this time, it was like I really wanted to just like, okay, let's capture that. So I'm just going to read it. Noe Chavez, Ashley Marion, Bannon Hunt, Daniel Meyer, Isaiah Panier, Ralph Madrano, Gabriel Cruz, Julian Boyd, Gary Zone, Ben McCormick, Brett Jarsick, and filmed by Scott Brown, that 90s footage. You heard me talk about him before in the old parts in the series. So just wrapping up, touching on that, just these dudes. Let's look at these dudes. So right here, that's Noe Chavez. This guy's a fucking legend. He's better than, seriously, like some pros and most AMs, and never really got hooked up with any big sponsors. But he's so fucking good at skating, and always has been. And that's him right there. That's the homie. So we go all the way back to the Eugene days. He had a part in my Steps video. If you go back to the 2005 part in my series, he was there for a lot of that filming. So this is like, 11 years after that. And just like such a cool, solid dude. I still talk to him to this day, and I love that guy. Brett, I met this dude on the internet, and he was from New York, from Buffalo. And when he was like in his early 20s, he wanted to try something new. And like just from meeting him online and chatting online for years without knowing anybody except me, he decided to move out to Oregon and became a really good friend. He's like such a solid dude. He's intellectual. He loves reading and activism, and he was a pretty good skater too. And we used to have fun. We used to just like bike everywhere. We used to go on like 30-mile rides in the country and way back in the day. And we lived together in Eugene for a while. He moved into my place and talked a lot of philosophy. He's a really deep thinker. And then he's actually, I spent like college out there on the West Coast, and then he actually moved back out to Buffalo, and I went to his wedding last year. So he's still around in the mix. Daniel Meyer there in the background. Right there, Danny Meyer. Corvallis, Oregon legend. My mug, Corvallis, Oregon. Solid ass dude. This is Eden Powers. Corvallis, Oregon, Portland, Oregon skate legend. And by the way, Eden, if you end up seeing this video, I'm going to react to your... He does basketball trick shots while on a skateboard, and the videos are so good. You guys got to check that out. Eden Powers Trick Shots is what it's called. I'm going to react to that another time. But yeah, then this dude Ben. Right there, Ben. Another legend. Eugene, Oregon legend. Not involved in the skate scene anymore, but he's like a pretty good master gardener, and it's gardening with him at his property here. So yeah, I was like trying to get these clips. I was trying to go out of my way to like actually tune into these moments that like, oh, it's so special that I have these people in life, and that I've been able to just have these friends and have these experiences with friends. Like today, do you see anybody around here? Like I don't have this anymore, and it's okay. I'm doing other things in life now, but I was trying to celebrate this. So this guy Julian, I haven't caught up with him in a while, but let's pause it right here. I'll just tell a story about him. It's so crazy. I was in when I was going through Santa Cruz, I was checking out all the parks in the area, and one day I went by myself to Scotts Valley, which is kind of inland a little bit, if you're familiar with the area. And like nobody was there. I was skating it by myself. Nobody was there at all. And then Julian just rolls up, and I didn't go out of my way to be friendly. I was just doing my own thing. But then we inevitably ended up talking, and he was like such a nice, cool dude. And just from like 5 minutes of talking to him, I already figured out that like we liked all the same shit. Like he liked the same kind of clothing style, and he liked the same kind of music, and he like his favorite pros were like my favorite pro skaters. And I'm just like, oh, you're like an awesome dude. Like he's a bit younger than me. He's probably like 10 years younger than me. I'm not sure how much younger, but then like literally the next morning, I was sleeping in my truck in a parking lot of a grocery store, a health food store, and I went in the morning to have. I was a web development teacher, so I worked online, and I like went in the grocery shop to like teach my class online, and then I like got breakfast, and then I go to the checkout line, and this dude was the checker, and it's like it was so far away from where the Scotts Valley Park was, and it was the very next day, and it seemed too coincidental. So like I exchanged phone numbers with him. I'm like, dude, what's up? You're that dude from the park. Like that's so crazy. So like exchanged phone numbers with him. I just felt like there's a reason that I'm running into this kid. I feel like we have to hang out more. So exchange phone numbers, and then this other trip. This is 2014 when I'm talking about. We met up like 5 or 6 or 7 times or whatever. I don't know, a handful of times, and just like skated, and then he ended up moving to Portland, Oregon. Later, when I was kind of leaving, he came there, and so it kind of came full circle to where, and we were just online friends after that. Pretty much, I ran into him once or twice. This is in Portland. We met up and just skated one night, but you know, like stuff like that. It's so cool. Like skateboarding's like a vehicle to open opportunities like this and just meet. You can just meet a random bro and become good bros. And that dude, honestly, even though we didn't get crazy close in life, but honestly, he feels like a little brother to me because I identify so much with his path in life and his background and where he came up and all that. And I don't even know if he's still into skating now. Last I checked, he was doing a band in Portland. And it's Ralph Madrano, Eugene legend, one of the best skaters out of Eugene. This is my friend Bannon, who I got to talk about Bannon. He didn't even skate for like, I think he said 12 years is what he told me. He was really into it at one point, and then he reached a point where he wanted to get into like being healthier and exercising more. And this clip right there is in the beginning of that. And he's like, dude, I want to take up skating again. Let's go skate. He was like so direct with me. We were friends through music. He was like a really good death metal guitar player and vocalist, and awesome fucking dude. I love you, Bannon. Love this guy. Also feels like a brother to me. Just we relate about a lot about outlook towards society and musical interests and the way we understand music and stuff. And I just really relate to this guy and love this guy. And he's such a cool dude. And he was like so direct with me. He's like, dude, I want to start skating. Like, I don't give a fuck. Just take me out with you. Let's get clips. And I was, I don't know, skeptical because like, dude, when you're an adult, skating is so hard. It's really hard on the body. And like the shit, you can't just decide that you want to nose grind a 10-foot skate box and just do it perfectly balanced. Like most people, you can't just decide that one day and then be doing it. But this dude literally did it. He just left it alone for 12 years, not skating. And then he picked it up one day and we were going out together all the time. And I was just so impressed how fast he learned it and got right back into it, and how hard he was. Because you can't just casually be like, I'm going to pick up skating as an adult. Like, if you're going to try to do tricks, like, you got to go all in. You got to get ready to eat shit. You got to get scabbed up. You got to put in the hours, and he did it. Like, and it just speaks to his personality. Like, this fucking guy's the man. Like, how do I explain it? Like, if there's people that, if you're putting together a survival team for like the doomsday end of the world scenario, abandoned island, a deserted island or something, or the zombie apocalypse, like, this is a guy that you want on your team. Like, he's gonna be adaptable and ruthless and brutal, and he's gonna do anything that it takes to achieve the mission. And I love that about him. And so here's his balanced middle of the truck nose grind down the whole box. Got stoked that he got in there, got a clip. Isaiah Panier, dude is the absolute man. I feel like so many people we grew up with ended up in jail or dead or just bad shit. And I mean, that's part of the life when you grow up in a counterculture. But Isaiah is just always been the man. Like he knows how to do the right things in life while still being able to have fun like this. And just, he's one of the people I can count on one hand who, like, responsibly had kids, bought a home, like built up a whole career, like did the right things in life. And I just fucking respect him so much for that, because not a lot of people who came from where we came from made it happen that way. And I love this guy as well. We just talked on the phone a couple days ago. Absolutely the man. Ashley, talked about him before, looking like the Asian Luigi in this clip, but this is also like my brother. Just I think nobody else in the world has as closely had as close of an experience to my experience, going from like age 12 to like age 30. Like, if we both wrote every experience we had on paper, like, we parallel each other's experience so much. Like, we were like skating with the same people at the same places, watching the same videos, had the same favorite pro skaters, same groups of friends. Like we went through so many of the same things growing up that I can just relate to him in a way that, like, very few people can relate to the type of shit I've been through or whatever coming up in the scene. And this motherfucker is like the actual brother. Just like, I could tell that guy anything and he is gonna have the right thing to say about it, and understands me and where I'm coming from, and has lived a really similar experience. So I love Ashley too. Alright, we'll just do a quick, I always do a trick by trick breakdown, so we'll just do that and then we'll get out of here. So this is Oakland in the morning. I was staying at my friend's house in Oakland, and I bombed that hill without even knowing where it goes, or without even seeing how gnarly it was, and this just turned into it doesn't look that gnarly, but it was really gnarly. Riding over the speed bumps and shit, and just like, when you're an experienced skater, if a hill makes you open your mouth, that's how you know it's gnarly. If you go, that's how you know it's crazy. San Luis Obispo, I just had this little 10-year-old. I'm like, hey, can you film this real quick? And I just wanted to get gnarly I wanted to get pitted. So pitted, bro. The thing I hate about this park is this cell phone tower. Like, who is trying to be baked by radiation underneath a cell phone tower just to skate a park? Like, I really don't like that. So I never spend a lot of time when I go through there. I just make it quick, but I don't know. I like that clip. And like I said, it's like I would have been too embarrassed to put that trick in my past parts. But now it's like, I am who I am, and I'm the guy who comes here as 33-year-old and just surfs up the thing. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's cool or if it's a good trick or whatever. This is Santa Monica. It's back in Oakland. Nice kickflip. I like that. I think I can kickflip a pyramid hip with the best of them. Who wants to challenge my pyramid hip kickflips? Because I've been doing them since I was 14. So that's a move that I got in the bag for sure. Little tray flip while a drug deal's going down right behind me. Pretty easy for me. Noe's the man. Little back Smith, that was nothing. Try or two, and then I got the switch frontside flip to regular frontside flip. The old back to back. Another hip kickflip in Lebanon, Oregon. This is oh shit, fucking windy. Where is that? It's like Crescent City, California, and just this low thing outside of a grocery store. Couldn't help myself at like 9 in the morning. I'm like, I gotta get the clip. I actually went to elementary school here, Lincoln Elementary in Corvallis, and we set up some shit on a rainy day with the boys. That's Venice. I just wanted to go by the mural. This is Monterey, California. So I used to go to all these places in California, like I said, when I was a teenager, and the homeless problem was never, look at this, is just like blocks and blocks of like people living in tents. And during this time coming back to these places, I was just like shocked at how the homeless situation was exploding. And so I tried to capture that in this part too, like this dude just sleeping here. This is all throughout California, and I thought that tied into the Them and Us theme song here. So this is actual footage from Visalia 1997. I just thought I would, because of those things I was saying about becoming who I am, I just thought I would tie in modern day 8mm footage here with my old 8mm footage from Visalia to like show that I'm like the same kid as back then inside. Like this cab over this wall. If I could do this every day, I'd be happy about that. Isaiah kickflips it, and then I came in cab in the night vision 8mm cab over a wall. I like that. In the Jordan jersey. We're gonna have to move inside because my battery's dead. I'll be right back. A lot of this shit, like this, is like first try, and then this is first try. This is in Windsor, California. I got a special place in my heart for Windsor. I don't know. I like that place. I like that place. I've done all these car tours, and every time I always stay in Windsor because one cool thing about van life is if you revisit the same places, you get to know like convenient places, like how the city works for van life and stuff. And so I've stayed here so many times that I've gotten to know it really well. And there's just always been really good vibes every time I've been there. Like, I don't know, just some places have such a hostile vibe to skaters and to van life, and just really hostile. Like, it's hard to even camp in certain places doing van life. But Windsor is just, it's always felt so chill. I've always found a place to sleep, no problem. There's like skating that you can access there, good food you can access, and I just like the vibe. It's really Mexican. There's a lot of Mexicans there. I don't know, it's a good vibe. This too, it's like first try, little front blunt thing, Junction City, Oregon. Stuff. This is filmed on an iPad. That's why the quality's so shitty. It's filmed on a 2013 era iPad, just kind of for fun. This is Harrisburg, so I'd go switch frontside flip, nailed it, rock solid. Same line, come back, switch back heel. That's such shitty footage. It's so blurry, but you just gotta imagine that that's a switchback heel. Barely held onto it. Little back 180 grind, fakey ollie. Getting tech. This is PPS. I talked about it before. It's like my favorite spot in Portland. This obstacle right here, like moving a trash can in front of a curb cut or in front of a bump. Just where I grew up, this has always been something I've skated since day one. Is this setup, a trash can and a bump. So it's got this mini section in the video here because it's just like so familiar. The back 180, I like this. Cleared the wheel by like 2 inches and then tweak it over. I like back 180s. It's probably like one of my main trick bag, one of my favorite tricks. Danny Meyer, switch tray flip. This is Echo Park. I just spent a day walking around Echo Park area in LA. And then when I was talking about my friends earlier, I should have talked about Gary here. This dude has a band called Dismantled. It's like an industrial music thing, and he's like toured the world and been kind of world famous in that scene. And this motherfucker used to live in Skid Row, LA, in his one-room music studio. That's how passionately he was chasing the dream of music and chasing the dream of having a music career. This is like way back, way before this time. This is like years and years later. But I don't know when he went to do that. It must have been like 2009 or something, where he just like fully chased the dream and moved into the studio with no fresh air, no windows, and just lived in here in the with the community dirty bathrooms. And like these are the people, man. These are the people I've been friends with. Are gnarly people who are willing to do whatever it takes in this life, and I respect him a lot. I could do. He would hate it. He's probably watching now. He would hate it, but I could literally do a whole video on just Gary Zahn. Gary Zahn is the man. I really like this guy. Alley-oop back 180 up the curb. We're at Oregon State University. This day was so fun. The vibes of this day. I skated with Dylan Chrisman. We just linked up and like spontaneously, I'm just like, let's hit the street. Let's go to OSU. Like there's great skating there, and it's usually always a bust. But then you'll just have like magical days where like you skate the most bust spot and you get away with it, and you just run into like a really cool dude to skate with, and then you just like happen to get clips, and the day just like plays out spontaneously. That's like one of the beautiful things in skateboarding, is when it all works out like that. And when you're young, it's easy to string together a lot of days like that. And this line sucked. I wanted to do the alley-oop 180 up. I wanted to do the switch nose slide really clean, but I got this bad one. I had to pivot to avoid going into the bark dust there, so I pivot all hard. I'm like riding the edge. I almost fell in, and then I was gonna switch flip here, and I really wanted that line, but it didn't work out. Back tail, tried to do the whole thing, switch crook the whole thing. This is one I've always been able to do that, so not that hard. Front blunt fakie, this is in a line, back smash. Wilsonville, Oregon, the park wasn't even open yet. We were trespassing, and I got the most insane fit that I've ever had, probably on video ever. I got white shoes with the 70s black socks, and then a hockey jersey when I've never even been into hockey or even been a fan. And then my falling apart, ripped up camo shorts. Look at the sleeves. Just the most crazy outfit I ever had on video. Switch 180 Manny, back 180. There you have it. That's probably the most tech Manny trick I've ever done in my life. Never been interested in manuals, and I've never been good at it. Never practiced. So sometimes I'll just like, what if I try it? And then sometimes it works out. And so that back 180 off. That's probably the most tech Manny I've ever done. That's why it looks sloppy. Just found some apple on the ground in these student apartments. The crossbuster thing. I'm a anti-religious atheist, and I was even back then when I was 16 when I got into this music, and that's just Bad Religion's logo, and I just appreciated it even more now as an adult, like what they were doing when they chose that logo. So that's why I threw that logo in, just to tie it all together. I always like it when you skate like after a hurricane and it buckles the sidewalk, or like after a tree falls over, or just like construction site, like ephemeral skate spots. I always try to go out of my way to get tricks on ephemeral things, construction sites, like, because it shows that it's not like premeditated. It captures the energy of like that you're just out. And so we were just out and saw this tree just got freshly cut down, and I fucking ate it so bad. I ate it bad on here. Where is it? Right here. I should just play that full clip, but I don't even know what happened, because what I was trying is so easy. Just trying to do a miniature tail slide off that bump, like on a tree. I thought that would be cool, but somehow I fucking missed it, and I was totally horizontal over this thing, and I scraped right there my knee across this jagged tree, and it sliced it bad. It like blood was like streaming down my leg, and it's filthy too. Like, look how dirty that is. It's like, so it's just like filthy, nasty, like tar and dirt and like parking lot scum into this like giant gash in my leg. And so then I was like, oh fuck, I gotta clean this out and fix this leg. So like Bannon was filming. I'm like, look, I gotta get this real quick. Like, Like, because if I went to clean my leg, I wasn't gonna want to come back and do it. So like, I just did it with this. You can't see because the footage is so shitty, but right here it's all bloody. It was like it made my sock full of blood running into it. So I just got up and did it real quick, and I was like, I was hurting bad. I was in big pain. I'm like, fuck, get this real quick. I just gotta do this, and then I hit the off the bump. This might have been filmed with an iPad too. That's why it's so shitty. Overshot it. See, I should have landed right here at the beginning of the stump, but I didn't want to fall again, so I overshot it and tail slid like 4 inches into that pole. Little ollie off. That's probably illegal, right? My hand on that pipe right there. That's probably illegal. Doesn't count. He's canceled. He's canceled from the skate scene. He put his hand on the pipe. And I chose this as the last clip because I just thought it captured all those vibes I was talking about of like, this is what it is. You're in a back alley. You're a grown up, but you're still doing it with your friends, messing around on some random thing that's not even a spot, dodging grimy dumpsters, throwing out tricks that you can't do, like a switchback 360 is what I tried to do right there. This is what it's all about here, is capturing that vibe, and so that's why I used it as my last clip. And yeah, whole different energy on this one, positive energy. This is on the drive back from the van life trip, like so remote in the desert, so fucking remote here, really far, like 100-mile drive from any kind of town. And I just pulled over to get a shot of how remote it was, and it was like 105 degrees during this time. And I just took some photos here. But yeah, it was a good energy. It was a good time. I didn't even know if I was ever going to have any more skate parts. There's still 2 more in this to review after this in the series. And I think my best part was still yet to come, which I would have had no idea of here in 2016. That's the vibe. That's the 2016 skate part, age 33. And come back for more. Smash the subscribe button. I got 2 more parts to review in the series, and that's all the skate parts I've ever done in my life. That'll bring us up to what, 11, 12? That's 12 parts in the can. So yeah, come back for that. Have no idea when I'll get the time to upload shit like this, but that's the vid. So, all right, thanks guys.